Hello, is it audible my voice? Hello, can anyone confirm? Hello,
Sir,
Yes, we here. So as I mentioned already, first we will create a new project where we can do this experiment. What I told you, reading and sending the data from HTML to Python, Python to HTML. But to do such kind of thing, we require to minimum setup that I'm trying to start. So as we know already, first we have to create the project. Okay. So Django, Django hyphen admin start project followed by project name. So project name I'm giving, add project I'm giving, add project. So once project creation completed, then we have to move to the respective project. So for the CD, add project, and then we have to create a application under the project with your required name. Yeah. So for that, we have to give a command python manage.py and start app and followed by app. Let's take example. I'm taking add app. Okay. Yeah, it's done. So now we have to go to the respective project and we need to do minimum things as I mentioned already. First, we have to open the settings.py and where you need to add your application name in the installed app. So this is the installed apps and where you can add your name of the app, that is add app. Okay. Yeah, that's all. First task is completed. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, comma. Okay. And the second thing, as we know, so first task we can start. Go to the add app. Under that, create the templates folder. To create HTML, I'm telling. So first we have to create the HTML file. So for that, we have to create a directory under that name called templates. So under the templates, we have to create HTML file. So let's take add.html I'm giving. So where I'm just giving that like form, where I'm creating a form to send the two values. So add. So as we know already, so first we have to write form. So up to here, doubt, is there any doubt? Is clear. First thing, I created a project and application, and I created a folder template. I mean that I updated the installed apps in the settings.py, and then I started working on HTML creation under the templates folder. So up to here, any doubt? Please ping me. Otherwise, I will continue the remaining. Any doubt as of now? Any doubt? Okay. So now I'm taking form action. And here method we can type. So method, as I mentioned already, we can give the get or post. It's up to you. First I'm taking get, and the next example I will take the post method. Okay. And action, we have to give the name which you are sending the data to the respective form. But obviously we can go with like I'm giving the someone తీసుకుంటున్నాను the action name. Okay. And here I'm taking the enter value 1 space input, sorry, input type equal to text, and then name is equal to, let's take, I'm giving v1. Okay. And I'm giving required, so we'll make the mandatory, and I'm using the enter value to, again input type equal to text, and the name equal to v2, and similarly we have to give required. and then finally we have to give the submit button. Okay, so input type equal to submit, and then value is equal to add. Okay, add, and finally input type submit value add. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, so this is like what is the form we require now here. So first one, like as I mentioned, two values I defined, and submit button I created. So if you have any doubts as of now, please ask me. So or else I will continue the remaining things. So I will hold for few seconds. Please go through the form what I created. If you have the doubts in that, please ask me as of now. So first I created a form which is having the two fields which will take the input from the end user, and there is a button to submit it also. Okay, so that is what I created as of now. And now anyway we know that we have to create a redirection functionality to open this add.html when you run the application. Okay, so for that two things we have to do. One is we have to create a function, read navigation function in the views.py, and to map that we have to update in the urls.py. These two things we have to do right now. So shall I go, or still anyone have any doubt as of now? Okay then. So now, as we know, so first to open the views.py. Okay, so under that we have to create a function, so which will redirect or it will open your add.html as a welcome page in the application when you running it. Okay, so for that we have to give definition, and followed by we can give our own name. So I'm just giving open add, and I'm writing, but it is not mandatory always you can give the same name. Okay, you can give anything as your requirement. Okay, so it taking all the time request as an object. So now return render, sorry, return render. First argument will be request, second argument will be the name of the file which you want to open as part of this file. So that is add.html. Okay, and the finally we have to give the, like as I mentioned, data passing. Okay, so this is what we want to do here in this particular example. And now open add we should map with urls.py. Okay, so I hope you understand the views also. So this is a navigation method we call. So this render is inbuilt function which will help you to open the HTML pages when you call this particular function in the urls.py. Okay, so now I'm opening the urls.py where I will update the this particular mapping. Okay, yeah. So here for admin already it is there. So I'm giving for a home page. So that is empty array, and then as I mentioned, we should write the function name. So that is views. So here I'm importing. So from app name. So add app, import views. So if you want to simplify the views in simple way, you can write even as v. So instead of views dot, we can write simply v dot. Like that also can work out. Okay. So now open underscore add, and then comma name equal to add. So this is what the main page. Now up to here what we completed means we created an application and project, and we created an HTML page, and we did the navigation. And now before going to actual logic implementation, please just try yourself, like test yourself whether it is really working as expected or not. So that if it is working, then we can start logic. Unnecessarily if you do complete code and if you start working if you start testing, if it is not working, it is taking more time to analyze where the problem is. So it's a good habit to do the unit testing, like individually. Whenever you do the functional by function, you have to start immediately testing over that. By that point on, you can get to know that, like, whether it is running successfully or is there any problem. But if you implement 4 to 5 functionalities at a time, and if you start testing, it's difficult to where the exact problem and where it is, what causes the execution issues. So it's better a habit always, whenever you are implementing a new function, immediately test it, and if it is working fine, then go to the next functionality. Like that, you have to habituate. For example, if you want to perform add, subtraction, multiplication, division for functionalities, assume that. So once you addition completed, start testing of the application. Once it is done and once it is executed as expected, then start implementation of subtract. And if it is done, then like that, function by function we have to implement. That is the good approach and good process in the real time, instead of all the 4 functions implemented and start testing. Okay, so similarly here I'm trying to do the same thing. So just I'm running, so python manage.py. So as we know, so we have to run the server, I mean the application, we have to use the run server. So run server will help you, what happened, sorry, the spelling mistake, it's not pt, it's a py. Okay, so once it is executed, then we can start our work. So we will see, does it have any issues or not. Yeah, I hope it is executed successfully. Okay, just click on the main link what it's generating, so where you can see this particular form what we created. So yes, see that, enter value 1, enter value 2. When you click on that, so it will ask that to enter the value definitely. So please wait. Just see that. So when you click on add, it's ask, I mean that validating the data, because as we know, right, we mentioned the required. So without filling the data doesn't approach. But before that, we should require to write the logic for this handling that we didn't write, right. So we have to go back. So when you click on this particular add.html, where it is going, some, right. So this is the URL name. Okay, so now we should write one more URL here. Okay, comma, so path, comma, so now here we have to slash sum, whatever we just now written, that we have to write, comma. So here we have to write new one, that is I'm writing the sum, and comma, name equal to I'm writing sum. So this is the new function I'm going to be creating in the views.py, and this first sum will map with this particular add.html. To make it simplify even, I will do the little modification. So here instead of sum I'm writing do sum, so that you won't confuse. Okay, so always remember the first parameter what I'm writing slash followed by the name, that name should match with your function name, like for whatever the name you mentioned the action. Okay, so that is very important, otherwise your logic may not execute, please remember. So whatever the variable we are writing in the action, that should be matched with your value called, sorry, urls what we written the first argument, and the second name what we are written like v dot, that name should match with the function name which is written in the views. Okay, so that's why I'm writing again one more definition, do sum. Okay, so this is the function, again same, we have to take the request. And now see, like the thing here is we want to do the sum, right, but before doing the sum we require the input which is given by the end user, that is indirectly what he entered in the form, right. So to do that, we have to use the inbuilt function to read the value from the what we can say that uh, HTML forms in the Python. Okay, so for that we have different options, three options basically. One is get to, another one post, and the request, but mostly we used get and post. So as I mentioned already to you people, when defaultly it is also get, and when you mentioned also it will take the get. Like example, if you case this one, I already mentioned method as a get, so it will take get only. But if you didn't, if you doesn't mention any method also, it will take get only by default. But post, if you want to mention specifically, you should mention the post mandatorily, otherwise it won't execute it. Okay, so like that, whenever you want to pass the data from the HTML form to Python, we should use either get or post methods in the what we can say that Python. Okay, so that two methods will help you to read the data from the HTML form. Once we read the data, by default these will read the data in terms of string format. So now whenever you want to do any kind of manipulation, any kind of processing of this data, you should first of all I mean to say, you need to first of all convert that into respective data format, and then we have to perform the our operation. So first we have to read the data from the form, and then we need to convert into the what we can say that respective data format, like what I can say that uh, integer or float, like that. Okay, then finally we can start our work. So that is how we will generally do the action for the sum. So please try to understand whatever the parameter names we are giving, like v1 v2, right, that is majorly will help you to read the data from the HTML forms to the Python. So that we will try to do now, and then we will same data we will pass back to the HTML pages. Yeah, for that, see that I'm writing first thing. So first v1 I'm taking. So v1 is equal to, so request, that's why request is common object for every time. So request dot, we should write get, and followed by the name of the parameter we given v1, right, the same way. Similarly we should give v2 is equal to request dot get of v2. And now, as I mentioned, we have to convert into integers, okay, before performing the sum. Let's take example, I'm taking a variable called as, and then I'm writing int of v1 and followed by int of v2. Okay, so this is how we will perform the sum of the two numbers. Like if you want to do the multiplication, you have to use the star, and similarly all the operations you can perform. There is no doubt at all. But this is very important. Like whenever you want to read the data from the form, you should use request.get. The same way, if you are changing the method as post, post here, simple. As I hope you understand. Now request dot, you have to use the uppercase letters post. That is only the difference. Okay, but I will try to see, will accommodate that also. Okay, and now I want to send this answer back to the same page, right? So for that we should write return render. Similarly we have to give request comma, where we want to go, add dot html, and then after we want to send this result, right? Yeah, that curly bracket is meant for that results only, Rana. So whenever you want to send the data from your Python program to HTML, this curly bracket will help us. Okay, so now I'm doing as an argument sum, and then colon the value which we are having s. So now this s contains the actual sum of the two values which we are passed, and that I'm passing in the name of sum, right? And now I'm coming back to here form, and down to the form I'm writing, so in the double curly bracket you can write this particular sum. So this is very simple, the sum will come here, and if you want to give a statement like sum is or something, you can attach the string, or you, as per your convenience, you can do that. Okay, but this sum will display when you click on the submit button only. Okay, so now we'll try to run this program again, and what happened we'll see. Okay, so go to the terminal again, and it will anyway update the program what we change, what we did the changes. Please wait until that. Yeah, so it's done. So go back to the form and refresh it. Yeah, now we can give some values. Let's take, I'm giving 5 and 10. So 10. So now the expected is 5 plus 10 is 15, right? Add. So see that it's giving some place wrong. What is that? Name it page not found slash some. Okay, I think there is a problem with path. We'll see. We'll do the slash sum here also. Yeah, now you see Rana, 4 plus 5, we got the value called 9. Okay, so now like that, whenever you run this program, it will do the sum and it will display the result what we are expecting here. So this is the approach. So the changes what I made, like I removed the slash here and I put the slash here. Okay, that's the only difference. Reverse I will put initially, so that is the only change. But this is the approach to do the such kind of results, Nana. Okay, so I hope you understand to deal with the get method. And here we do the two-way binding. We called it is also two-way binding, means we are able to sending the data from HTML to Python, similarly Python to HTML. Okay, so as of now, if you have any doubts, please ping me or ask me. Otherwise I will go for post method. Similarly, one more same in that we will take the product, maybe product of two numbers or something else, but by using the post method. Okay, I will give the 2 minutes of time, so just go recollect everything what we covered as of now and ask me the doubts. Okay, so I hope there is no doubt. So similarly, as I mentioned, right, I'm going to be creating one more form. Okay, so action here I'm writing CTIU. Yeah. So let's take, I'm giving say hello, the function I'm giving hello, and the method equal to I'm giving post. Okay, so here what is my intention? Just I want enter some name, and I want to print by appending the hello and I in the uppercase letters. Okay, so that is what my expectation here. So enter your name, input type equal to text, name equal to username, and then required, and now input type equal to submit, value is equal to get name, the hello name, and then close. So this is the form which is used for sending the name, and I want to get back the result after the form. So here I'm giving with the name of result. Okay, So as of now, if you have any doubt, please ask me. Otherwise, I will start working on views.py. Any doubts, please ask me. And also, senior, now whoever attending, please try to practice the things, whatever the things, even the videos also I'm posting on the your group. So please try to do the practice. By just listening the class you cannot understand, and you cannot get even single program also. The same thing if you replicated like at least 4 to 5 times from your side in your mission, maybe you can understand. But simply by seeing or listening or attending the classes, you won't get even 1% of knowledge also. So end of the day you won't get anything. So if you do the regular practice, you may get even doubts also. But I'm not sure like how many of you are doing the practice and how many are doing the recollection. I'm not sure. But so it's a like what we can say, that if you do such kind of things only, you will understand logic. End of the day no one will help you to like what do you call it, if you said like end of the day, like after 3 months 4 months I didn't understand anything about the class, means no one will help you to at that moment. So try to do the practice now, and try to recollect the things, okay? So instead of simply coming the class and idly sitting, okay? Yeah, anyway, so once the form is completed, right, now like that in single view file we can write many functions, many forms, okay? So now the function what we are trying to do, let's take a hello, okay? And similarly request, and first we have to read that name. So name equal to sorry, request dot, now as I mentioned, post, because we use the post method, and followed by uname. And this is already string, so no need of converting separately, but we want to combine with s is equal to, as I mentioned, first we want to concatenate with hello, and then space, and then plus, and we want to make it uppercase, right? So name dot upper. So this entirely will give you what we are expected result string, and then no, as usual we have to pass back to the same page which we want to return now, okay? But only difference here, the name should be result because we use the word result in the HTML, and here it will be same as only, okay? So this is the function which is required for our program. So I hope you understand now. And now urls.py we should add one more, so that is path. So hello path, sorry, hello v dot hello name equal to hello, okay? So my part is done. So now I hope we can start execution of this program. Yeah, one more form is came, see that? So now I'm trying to enter my name Satish. So now hello name, see that something is missing. Yeah, CRSO token, okay. So whenever you are using post method, this token has to be included in the page. So in the form, I mean to say, get method is not required, but for post method is required. So we have to include this token, okay? That is the actually it is missed. So this is we call cross origin token. So that means when we are sending a request from localhost to server, it has to make it understand that token will be required. So that is the reason it is expecting the token. Yeah, now I'm giving Satish and hello name. So now you can expect, see that a hello followed by uppercase whatever entered the name, it is coming like that, okay? So likewise we can process the input and output as per our requirement. So this is the how we will do the generally post request and guest request and data passing. So this is the way how we will pass the data from our HTML to Python, and similarly Python to HTML. So like It's based on our requirement, like how many parameters we want to send. See here, I passed as of now only one parameter, but you can pass multiple parameters or multiple list of values you can pass, or multiple objects you can pass. So it's not limited to only one value or one variable. It's based on your requirement, you can pass any type of data. Similarly, reading also from forms, whatever the data you require or whatever the parameters you require, so you can read from the respective uh, forms to Python, and you can process the data, and you can do the as per your requirement. Like example here, just manipulations I did, and I passed the data back to the HTML. But if you want to really store the data in the DB database, so we can do the database operations. Similarly, if you want to do store some in the files or some Excel file or JSON file, there we can store like that. So based on the situation, based on the requirement by the user or customer, we may perform the operation in the respective program. Okay. So this is all about like data handling, or the two-way, we called it, is the topic called two-way binding. So means we are able to passing the data from HTML to Python, similarly Python to HTML. So this is all about data passing for today. So the next class we may focus some more data passing mechanism, like we can pass the, as I mentioned, right, list object. So how to pass that and what it mean, we'll see in the next class. So as of now, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. So otherwise you can start, as I mentioned, right, I will share this video and start practicing. And see, again I'm telling, so it's not just to view, listen the class or to view, see the class. You have to recollect, like you have to start practicing whatever we covered. So if you at least do the practice of the so far what we covered, complete the classes, you can at least have an idea on to how to create a project and how to do the HTML, CSS, and basic templating. That all you can understand. So that might help you to understand at the time of project creation. Okay, so that might give you how the projects are working also. Okay, so this is all about data passing and two-way binding. So if you have any doubts, I will wait for 2 more minutes. You can ask me. Otherwise, you can left the class, and we'll meet on Tuesday.